Hey guys, June 29th. So tonight is a video with a story. We'll see if the story is any good. We're going to kind of make it up as we go. But, our lake is very deep. Did you ever wonder why that is? Well, underneath it is a river. And that river has it pushes up actually into the part over by the beach. And as the water pushes up in there, it keeps the lake fed. It's called the spring. But further down from that river is a cavern. Deep, 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 deep. Very deep. So deep that it's 100 miles underneath the Earth's crust. And what lives in there, no one has ever seen. But what happened was, in there, they ran out of food. And the things that were in there started to come down the river and started to show up in Fish Lake. And what they were was 1,000 tiny gecko-sized lizards. And they walked around doing that all day long, and they were licking up the lake, chewing on trees, chewing on boats. There were billions of them. You couldn't take a step without smashing, running into, being tickled by, having one do his little fire dance thing. They dance a lot like Tyler when he's in his underwear. This is what they do. Okay, that's the best I got, guys. Sorry. But they found nothing worked to get rid of them because there were a bajillion of them, and they just kept coming out of that hole. Well, eventually, two smart young kids, that's right, Dominic and Justin, were scared off by them and had nothing to do with the good part of the story. But Josh and Tyler had an idea. We don't think lizards like fire. Lizard puts his tongue on fire. That's like yelling in lizardese. So they figured out that what they could do was start, you guessed it, your favorite thing to do, start tiny fires everywhere. So they had little tiny fires, and they started out just going around the lake. And then Tyler found a way that he could create a little floaty barge, a small one, with a little fire on top. And he started to take those and move them ever closer over there. And they had a big circle, and it was sort of like a noose or a lasso that just kept tightening, and all the lizards had to go back into the hole. And they did, until they were all gone. It was brilliant. But now, how do you stop them from coming back? Because you can't keep the fires lit the whole time. So, what the boys did was they put on their flippers. They went over to Foss, grabbed some flippers, and they each grabbed giant exercise balls and balloons. And they went down to the bottom, sunk the balloons, made them blow up, full of water and goop and everything, and plugged the hole. Now the good news is there's no more lizards. The bad news is they had to figure out how to keep the water coming up, because otherwise the lake would drain, and that would be very bad, because then we would just have a giant ditch in our backyard. And they figured out a way to put a little grate over it and have the water come through, and it was brilliant. Nice job, boys. Alright. Good night, boys. Love you. Love you too, Mommy.